Hey guys, THUNDERSTUD here, and we are playing Solfachords. So they are a pendulum archetype. I wasn't really looking forward to them, or too excited for them, but I figured it has been a very long time since I played any kind of pendulum deck, and might as well check them out while they're new. We also have this new card that I really like called 1 for 1. That kind of vibes with this deck, so we went with it, as we do have a level 1 monster who's a good way to open up, as she is a search of a monster. You also gain a little bit of attack and stuff like that. Generally going to use her for the search. It's a good combination with United Pendulums, a new skill, a new lifetime skill we got, where you can take a monster on your field, put it in a pendulum zone, and then bring out another monster of the same type in the other pendulum zone. Great for pendulums, just a general pendulum upgrade. Konami probably noticed pendulums don't really get played outside of Triple Ds, and other than that, it's just generally good for any pendulum deck. So I'm also trying general pendulum support in Pot of Riches, where if you have 3 in your extra deck, you shuffle them to your deck, draw 2 cards. The only thing is you can only special summon with pendulum, you can't do any other special summons. And like I said, we have a Dark Hole, 1 for 1, so we could draw into that kind of stuff. And we have this spell card, pretty core, Solfachord Elegance. You're generally going to always want to run 3 with them. You can use one of these effects. You place a Solfachord monster in your pendulum deck or zone from your deck, very good. Or you can add a pendulum monster from your hand to the extra deck, then place 2 pendulum monsters, an odd and an even, from your deck. Also great value. Then you get to add 2 cards, 1 odd, 1 even scale from your pendulum zone to the extra deck, draw 2 cards. Very, very crazy. You can only use it once per turn. Very core to this archetype, what gives them their specialty. So that's generally all it is. They make you jump through a lot of hoops with this even and odds, but they're just search power, draw power, mill power. Wherever you want a monster, they can generally put a monster there. They have some boss monsters in that this monster you attribute to pendulums and special summon this monster. Pretty good little monster. We have a level 7 that's also pretty good. It can destroy things in the damage step. I think it's if their attack's lower than your pendulum scale times 300. All that wacky stuff. This girl, when she's normal summon or special summon, will return a back row. She can special summon from your hand as long as you have a Solfachord pendulum. You've seen me use Protecting Spirit Logith with Venus before, but now she can easily special summon off one of these monsters' effects. Then we have Dark Hole to draw into, and who am I missing? That's pretty much it. She's milled to the extra deck. She's a boss monster and a level 1 scale, very important. Level 8 scale in a search, special summon, boss, return, and the new skill is also very important. So that's virtually everything. Just Link monsters, doesn't go with Pot of Riches. Oh no, this is an archetype specific monster. You get this from the card trader, believe it or not. This is a card trader card, and pretty complicated effect. During your main phase, you can add a pendulum from your extra deck or from your hand to your extra deck, then from your extra deck to your hand. So you're kind of switching off a little win more. What you really want is when you pendulum summon a monster to this zone, you target one of them, add a Solfachord pendulum monster from your deck to your hand, whose level equals the pendulum scale of that monster. So a little convoluted search. It's only a 2 link, so you can go into bigger monsters like Equimax or Dragon, or even just Unicorns. So didn't exactly change my opinions on pendulums or anything. Pendulums are still pretty hit or miss. Yeah, still, fairies are cool though. There's tons of specific fairy support we could maybe jump into, but other than that, hope you guys enjoy, and thanks for watching. Alright, here we are going second. Generally a second turn deck. We don't have too many, if any, first turn plays. United Pendulum, pretty good skill for basic pendulums, especially if they're all the same type monster, like they are here. Here, this is what we in the biz call a brick. We need to draw a monster so we can use this 1 for 1, and then we can get started. We're facing a 6 Samurais, doing an Xyz of a Nightmare Shark, and left a Legend of the Six right there. We do get a monster, which means we can play our 1-for-1. There's Cutia. She gives us a search of Butia. Now we Pendulum Unite, throwing that monster there, bringing that monster out. For a perfect scale, now we bring Butia out. She will target a monster and it will be banished when we destroy it. And when she targets a monster whose attack is lower than your highest scale times 300, which is 8 times 300, which is 2400, means if we battle that monster, it's automatically destroyed in the damage step. He hits us with this Nightmare Shark. We don't really mind, that's why we left it alive. We wanted stronger monsters like Xian to not show up. Here we go with the Grand Soul. Then we're gonna Pendulum to her area. I think that's how you get her search. We get one. It's gotta be at something she points to. Beauty is right back after we used her for Link food. Then we go with Dreamia. Dreamia is able to special summon because we have all these Solfachords. We use her and the Grand Solfachord to make the Equimax. Now we're pointing to a 2500. We'll use Elegance for a +2. Boom, 2500, but only that monster can attack, obviously. But we have plenty of a follow-up here. He's got a monster reborn, the Nightmare Shark. We could have Beauty'd it, so it was banished in the end phase, but it's not like it has material or it can do anything. We top deck a Cutia. We're going to use Pot of Riches. 3 back, draw 2. We finally got a Protecting Spirit. We're going to bring Elidia. We can't special summon her beyond Pendulum summoning though, so we can special summon her, but it has to be through a Pendulum summon. It can't be through her own effect, and that is because of Pot of Riches. Here we go, swing over the monster, and then hit for lethal with our 4500. Absolutely crazy, great stuff there. Alright, here we are versus Seto Kaiba. We're going second. Generally a second turn deck. You could build it with traps and make it more of a first turn, but there's nothing really inherently about the monsters that make it very first turn. We got the new card 1-for-1. I love level 1 monsters, so I love this card. It sucks we only get one copy of it, but still, here we throw away a monster, bring out our level 1. Her search is normal summon or special summon, so we get to search Kulia, which is our boss monster. We normal summon Elitia. Return the back row, Link summon into the Grand Solfachord Musia, and Kulia once again, then Cutia. That's going to be a Pendulum summon, the 1 and the 8, that's as good as our scales get, and I mean obviously, that's a really good scale. We bring out Fancia, she mills Dreamia. We have virtually every monster we could need here. Just missed lethal. There was probably a combo we could have hit for lethal somewhere in there, but it's okay. We use Fancia's effect once again to mill to the extra deck. That's going to trigger our Protecting Spirit. We pass our turn because we couldn't destroy the monster anyway with Hollow Life Barrier. He returns that monster, brings out a Blue Eyes. Who will he attack? He attacks our Musia. Obviously we can already stop him with Protecting Spirit, but here we're going to Pendulum summon our Butia. And boom, banish the monster. Trigger second Protecting Spirit, plenty of lethal, and our boy Scoops. Great stuff here. Alright, here we are facing a Zuzu. We're going to catch a rank up. I think we're very low though, start of the month. Show them our United Pendulums. 28 cards over there. We got a Dark Hole already. We got Pot of Riches. Butia. So Solfachords. So Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So. Is that what we're doing? We get our perfect scales out. That was through the skill. Okay, so we normal summoned our monster. Used the skill United Pendulums through Cutia there, brought out Kulia, Pendulum summon Butia. Now we're triggering her monster. This is Melodious. She tried to swing into us for some reason, I'm not quite sure why. She She gets destroyed in the end phase because she has to be over 2400 or she cannot battle. Because of Beauty's effect, our highest scale is 8 times 300 is 2400. Let's go to Book of Moon. Our Kulia, that's okay. We'll just Dark Hole his monster. And then Pendulum Summon our Beauty right back. Or no, I accidentally Special Summoned Dreamia. It was just a misclick. You would have wanted Beauty back. But here he Super Team Buddy Force unites our own monsters somehow. I didn't know we were both fairies here. Pot of Riches. We get to return 3 and draw 2. Very cool. Using pure Pendulum support, we get Cudia. She's going to give us a search of Elidia. Pendulum Summon once again. Elidia's going to return a back row. And then not much we can do from there. As Pot of Riches stops you from special summoning beyond Pendulum Summoning. Melodious finally able to make plays. Bringing out the Bloom with cutscene and all. Very cool monster. Very gnarly effects. Wouldn't be able to be destroyed by that Dark Hole we had earlier. But we have other tricks for it. Fortissimo, not that it needed any attack. We're gonna start with a Pendulum Summon right out. 2 monsters, 1 there, 1 from the hand. Beauty is back in the hand. Send that back row. All 3 monsters for a unicorn. Bounce the Bloom. No protection against that. We threw away Riches. We won't need it too quick. Oasis of Dragon Souls. Haven't seen that card in a while. Pretty random. Going with Maestro. We're going to destroy that monster. And then just no follow-up. Leaving her field completely exposed for whatever we need to do to finish the game. She will return that back row right back. And that's the final scoop for our boy. Great stuff, guys. Alright, here we are going verse an Arcana. See what he's got for us. Using that Sun and Moon Dragon map with the Legendary Fisherman sleeve. We have Kulia, who is scale 1. We normal summon Cudia. We're able to play Dreamia now, that's 7 and 1, and we pass our turn because we don't really have good first turn plays. Now here's Magician's Rod. Thankfully he might not OTK us. Dark Magician has a few more OTKs now thanks to that new structure deck. But when you're starting with Rod, Search and Soul, you're probably not going to hit us. He does have a magical dimension though, so he did mess this up big time. He could have swung with the... Oh, that's why. So he had the Timaeus. He wanted to turn it into a Dark Cavalry. Really not too much of a point going into that monster when you're just going to set a back row anyway. Could have done a good amount of damage. Here he just gets Dark Hold by a Dark Hold top deck. GG. We bring out Cudia and pass our turn again. So he easily could have beat us with any kind of monster. And now we top deck our Fancia. He's going to hit it with a Warning Point. Not a huge deal. Now we get Elidia. No, Elidia. Return his Dark Magical Circle. Bring out a Butia. He's got an Eternal Soul, but nothing to do with it. What her effect does, if that card left the field, it would get banished instead, not a relevant effect to the situation, but we still hit him for lethal. Great stuff, guys. Alright, here we are facing Little You. No extra deck for the boy. Looks like 30 cards, 31 cards with Grandpa's cards over there. So let's see him getting blown up. We got Kulia, we got Fancia, Kulia, so they're fancy and cool and elegant and all that stuff. Dreamia. So we're facing Time Lords. We're getting 2 out. We have our 7 scale and our 6 scale, so Can't really pendulum much with that, but they're even and an odd, so that's really all we're using them for now. We use them to bring out Kulia. How did we do that? We normal summoned this one, and then special summoned her by having a Solfachord, attributed them both for her. He destroys one of our pendulum zones, which actually helps us. Kulia negates the effects of both of those cards. That means we're able to swing right into a Time Lord, and you know, Time Lords, that pretty much defeats their whole purpose, so pretty cool stuff. Like I said, this didn't completely change my opinion on pendulum summons. If you already like pendulums, you might like this deck. It's a smooth, fairly recent pendulum deck. I don't know, other than that, it's their names are funny and cool and stuff, I guess, but yeah, I don't know if it's worth digging through such a mini box for that. You would have to love everything else in the mini box, guys, so I'm not sure. Other than that, good to play pendulums again, though. I need still, to this day, still need much more pendulum experience. So let me know what you guys think. What is your go-to pendulum? And thanks for watching, guys.